Hello guys, welcome to the session. Continuing with the TCS Code Vita questions. The question which we'll be solving today is balancing stars problem. Okay. Let me show you the question. As always, pause the video if you want to. Take a look at the question. Understand what they are telling you about the question. Okay. Then you can move on into the explanation part. Right. So in the question, they are telling us that Kodu loves to play with the string of brackets. Okay, he considers a string as a good string if it is balanced with the stars. Look at this point. He considers a string as a good string if it is balanced with the stars. So, what do they mean by balanced with the stars? Look at the next line for that. A string is considered as balanced with stars if it contains balanced brackets and between every pair of brackets there are at least two stars present. Okay. A string is a good string if it contains balanced brackets and between every pair of brackets there are at least two stars present. This is our criteria. Okay. So let us understand balanced string. There are two things which are important for a balanced string. What is it? It should contain balanced set of brackets and it should contain at least two stars between every pair of brackets. Okay, should have balanced brackets and at least two stars between every pair. Okay, now look at the remaining part of the question. They are telling you the string is balanced with respect to all brackets, not just one pair of brackets. All brackets should be balanced, and between every pair there are at least two stars. We know this already. It is given in the first part itself. Yes. Now look at the first line. You need to print yes and number of balanced pair if string satisfies the condition. Okay. If these two conditions are satisfied, print yes and the number of balanced pairs. Okay, but if it does not satisfy, print no and number of balanced pairs. Okay, even though it is satisfied or not satisfied, we should say the number of balanced pair of brackets. If it is not satisfied, print no. If it is satisfied, print an S. Yes, so this is the question. You will be given a string. From that string we are going to find out whether brackets are balanced or not balanced, and also the star count should be at least two stars. What do they mean by at least two stars? It should be greater than or equal to two stars. Clear? This is a question. Now let's do it step by step. What is the first thing they're asking you? The string is balanced with respect to all brackets. So now we know that the output format also. What is the output format? The output format should contain either an yes or a no. If condition is satisfied, print yes and number of balanced pairs. If condition is not satisfied, print no. Then also we have to print number of balanced pairs. Okay. So my two important things are finding balanced brackets and stars count. Okay. So now let us start with balanced brackets, right? Okay, guys, we always follow the similar approach only. At first, I'll develop the basic program. From that basic program, many test cases will fail, as we have done all the time. Your base program will fail for few test cases. We'll start thinking about the possible test cases where our program will fail. Then we'll add conditions accordingly. That is how the session is going to proceed. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the entire program at the first step itself. Let's start from the very basic. Okay. Okay. To check whether brackets are balanced, you should be familiar with stack concept. Yes. So some of you might know it, some of you may not know that. So let me just explain the basic of a stack, not in detail. What is a stack? How should you approach a stack? Let me just explain that. Okay. So let me consider you have a cylindrical tube. Okay, you have a cylindrical tube. Now I'm going to drop three balls inside this tube. Okay, The first one is blue colored, second one is yellow colored, third one is red colored. Okay, I have three balls dropped inside this stack. Okay, see, the bottommost ball, the blue colored one, was added first, right? I added this one first, I inserted this one first, and the red colored one was inserted at the end. The first one to be inserted is blue colored, the last one to be inserted is the red colored. Clear? But when you try to draw out, when you try to pull out, you can't take the first one, you can't take the blue colored ball first. We can only draw the red colored ball. Clear? When I drop all these, the blue one is at the bottom and the red one is at the top. So I can draw this, I can pick up the red colored ball only. This one can be drawn out first. Can you understand this? Yes. Even though it was added at the last, this will be drawn out first. Similarly, the first ball to be added, the blue colored ball was the first ball. It will be drawn out at the end only. Right? That is how generally it works. Yes, it is one above the other. So whichever one is at the top, that could be pulled out first, others could be pulled out at the end only. So I observe that last inserted element is drawn out first. The last inserted element is drawn out first. This is what we call as last in first out, LIFO principle. You also have FIFO principle, but that is not needed for us. This principle is called last in first out principle. Whichever was inserted at the last will be drawn out first. Last in will come out first. LIFO. And this concept is what we call as stack concept. Clear? So stack concept is nothing but whichever is inserted at the last, that will be pulled out first. Okay. So in technical terms, okay, we call it as added and drawn out. Yes, in technical terms, in terms of stack, this adding operation, insertion operation is called as push operation. Okay, and drawing out, this removing operation is called as pop operation. Clear? These are the stack terms. Yes. Whenever you add an element in stack terms, I say it as we are pushing an element. And whenever I remove an element in stack terms, I'll say it as popping an element. This is the basic. Okay. And the only accessible element is this. Can you understand? You can't access this yellow ball or blue ball. When you have it this way, you can access only the topmost element. Is it clear? You can't access the underlying elements. Whichever element is at the top, we can access that one only. So this element is called the top of stack element. Okay. This is the only element that can be accessed. So if you want to get the yellow ball, you can't directly get the yellow ball. First, remove the red colored ball, then you can get the yellow colored ball. Clear? This is how stack works. Okay. The terms you have to remember are push operation, pop operation, and top of stack element. Okay. Insertion is called push, deletion is called pop, and only element that can be accessed is the top of stack element. Okay. Now we are going to apply this concept in our programming part. Okay. Let me show you an example here for the balanced brackets. What do I mean by the term balanced brackets? Balanced bracket means for an open bracket, you should have a matching close bracket. Clear? You can't have a curly bracket here. That doesn't make any sense, right? For an open bracket, you should have a matching close bracket. That is what we call as balanced brackets. Okay. So some of the balanced brackets are, you can have a we can have a round bracket. Okay, the normal brackets are called as round bracket, or we can have a square bracket, or we can have a curly bracket. Okay, these are the three brackets which will be used in this question. Okay, and also there is a different type of brackets called as nested brackets. Yes, having one bracket within another, that is what we call as nested brackets. Okay, so these are the types of brackets: round, square, curly, and nested brackets. Based on this, we are going to identify whether the brackets are balanced or not. Yes, so let me show you an example to check for balancing. Consider input and output. Let me say your input is a set of brackets. Okay, we have curly bracket, square bracket, and round brackets. Okay, so look at this. For an open bracket I have a closed bracket, right? For an open bracket I have a closed bracket. For another open bracket we have a closed bracket. Okay, so all brackets are balanced, which means my output is going to be yes. Clear? Since all brackets are balanced, the output is going to be yes. Okay. So how do I implement this? See, generally what we'll suggest is, let us have three variables. One for curly bracket, one for square bracket, and one for round bracket. Okay. Let us have three variables and count how many values do I have here. How many curly brackets, how many square brackets, and how many round brackets. You may think of it that way, but if you do it like that, order cannot be checked. When you use three variables, the order cannot be checked. For example, let me show you this case. If you look at this, I have one square open, one square close. But here, look at these two cells. Look at the highlighted cells. The round brackets order is changed. Yes, you have a close followed by a open bracket. Such cases are not balanced. So if you should check the order also, you should not just store the count. Okay, don't just suggest using three variables because that will not check the order. Yes, I need to know whether I have an open bracket and a close bracket in that order itself. Yes, if you have a close and a open bracket, that is not a valid case. Okay, so now how shall I work with this program? Look at it. The first character which we are reading is curly open bracket. Yes, I will just push it inside the stack. Push means insert operation. Yes, so I will push it inside the stack. Okay, the next bracket which we read is a open square bracket. So second step, I'm pushing that inside the stack. This is step 1, step 2. Okay guys, it will change within the same stack only. Just to show you the difference, I'm representing it individually. So what happens in step 1? I'll take the curly bracket, push it inside the stack. Then I'll take the square bracket, push it inside the stack. Okay, so now I have two elements in the stack. What happens in the third step? In the third step, I have a close bracket. Can you see that? We have a close bracket. See, how is a pair of brackets defined? What do we mean by pair of brackets? Pair of brackets means for every close bracket or for every open bracket, a matching bracket should be present. This is what we call as a pair. Yes, for every close bracket there should be a matching open bracket. Yes, okay, and each close bracket matches with nearest opening bracket. Okay, if I have a close bracket here, I cannot match it with this open bracket. Can you understand? If I have a close bracket, I can't match it with some other open bracket. I should match it with the nearest open bracket. Can you understand this? Yes. I need to know the nearest open bracket. Where do we have the nearest open bracket? We have it in the top of the stack. Can you understand this? The nearest open bracket is nothing but the top of the stack element. Yes. So I need the nearest open bracket. The nearest open bracket is top of stack element. Okay. So I need to know whether a close bracket matches with the open bracket. Nearest to open bracket. Where do we have the nearest open bracket? In the top of the stack. So in general I can say close bracket should match with top of stack element. Clear? Close bracket should match with the nearest open bracket. The nearest open bracket is present at the top of the stack. So a close bracket should match with the top of stack element. This is my understanding. Okay. So what should we do now? I have a close bracket here. Okay. I have a close bracket. I should compare it with the open bracket. Yes. So take this element and compare it with the close bracket. Both are matching. The blue colored boxes are matching. Yes. So I can say that I have one pair of matching brackets. Can you understand this? I took the top of stack element, compared it with the close bracket. Since both are same, since both are matching, I can say I found one pair of matching brackets. Okay. After finding a pair of matching brackets, you don't need that bracket. So remove that. Clear? Once I know I have found a pair, I need not analyze this pair further. So I have popped the open bracket. Okay. So whenever you see a open bracket, push it. On seeing a close bracket, compare it with the top of stack element and pop the element. Okay. Let us continue this further. Next step, we have round brackets. It is an open bracket. Yes. So push the open bracket. Third step, I popped the element. Fourth step, I'm pushing the open round bracket. Can you see that? The open bracket is pushed. Yes. Next time we see a close bracket. Now you can understand when you see a close bracket, it should be matched with nearest bracket. Where can I find the nearest bracket? Top of the stack element. Yes. So compare these two values. Compare these two values. The two of them are matching. Which two are you comparing here? The close bracket with top of stack element. Since the two are matching, I can say I have found one more pair. Okay. So the count value changes as 2. I have found two pairs of matching brackets. Okay. So what will be the last step now? Yes, okay. So I have found two pairs of matching brackets. Now, since this matching bracket is found, I have found the pair for this one. So you will pop it from the array, from the stack. Okay. Since you have found a matching pair, pop it from the stack. So your stack will have the curly bracket only. Okay. Now we read the next element. What is the next element? The next element is a close bracket. So when you see a close bracket, compare it with the stack element. In the stack, we have a open bracket. Both are matching. Since both are matching, pop that element. Okay, since both are matching, we will pop that element. That's it. Okay, this is step 6. There are just 6 steps here since I have 6 elements. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 elements, so I have performed 6 steps. What did I do for the open bracket? Pushed it. Next to open bracket, pushed it. Next, when I see a close bracket, I have popped the element and found out that the two were matching. Similarly, for the next open bracket, push it. for the close bracket, pop this pushed element and check whether they are matching. Similarly, for the next close bracket, we will pop an element and see whether they are matching. This is the algorithm. Okay. So what is it that we understand from this? Whenever you see a open bracket, push it into the stack, and whenever you see a close bracket, pop an element from the stack. Okay. And how will I know the nearest bracket? The each close bracket will be matched with nearest, each close bracket will be matched with nearest open bracket. Okay. Not just a random open bracket. Close bracket should be matched with nearest open bracket. Right. Let me just create the code till this part. Okay. Say you have a string of size 100. We need index and we need a stack. Yes. Guys, stack is nothing but an array. 0th index, first index, second, third, fourth. This is nothing but an array. But when you imagine it, don't imagine it in horizontal form. Here we have it in horizontal form, right? When you imagine it, don't imagine it in horizontal form. Imagine it as a vertical form. Okay? It is an array, but instead of horizontal form, I'm using a vertical form just to show you how it works. Okay? So, stack is an array of size 100. Okay, even though the values stored are characters, my stack is going to be of integer type. It doesn't cause any conflicts, right? Character can be stored inside an integer also. So I'm having the stack as a integer. Why? Because there is one more part of the question. Remember, you need to get the count of stars. So when I say count of stars, I'll definitely need integers, which is why I'm having the stack as a integer array. Okay. So now what did we say so far? Take each character from the string. Okay. Until when? When will I stop? When I reach this null character, you will stop the process. Yes. So take each index till we reach null character. Okay. So until it is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, proceed. Can you understand this? Yes, if it is not equal to null, proceed. Okay. So, there are two chances I have here. I can have a open bracket or I can have a close bracket. Okay. We can have either an open bracket or a close bracket. Okay. So, what are the operations to be done for an open bracket? Operations to be done for a close bracket. Okay. So, for an open bracket, you will push it into the stack. Yes. Whenever I see a open bracket, I will push it into the stack. And what will you do when you see a close bracket? When you see a close bracket, compare it with nearest open bracket. Can you understand? Yes. Compare it with nearest unmatched open bracket. That is important because you can't compare this curly bracket with this bracket. Yes. Nearest unmatched open bracket. Yes. And where can I find it? I can find it in the top of the stack. The nearest open bracket can be found in top of stack. Can you understand this? When you see a open bracket, push it into the stack. When you see a closed bracket, compare it with the nearest open bracket, top of stack element. Yes, we need to check whether they are matching or not matching. This is our base. Okay. So how can I check whether I have a open bracket? To avoid confusion, guys, I'm not going to add the condition here. I'll have it within a function so that you don't get confused. Okay. You can have it inside main also, but I'll have it within a function. Okay. Checking for open bracket is a function. Can you all see that? To see whether it is an open bracket, I am using a function. So this will receive a character. If the character is open curly bracket or open square bracket or open round bracket, then yes, it is an open bracket, which means true. Yes, I have an open bracket, so return 1. Since it is true, I will return 1. Otherwise, we'll return 0. Clear? When I find the open bracket, it is true, so we'll return 1. Otherwise, we'll return 0. Okay? You can also rewrite this with a ternary operator. It is up to you. Yes, I'm just explaining you the logic. Similarly, what can I do for close bracket? Receive a character, check whether same process. Okay, I'll just type it out. Check whether the character is close curly bracket or close square bracket or close round brackets. If it is any one of this, then yes, it is a close bracket. So return 1, otherwise return 0. Clear? So I have functions to find whether it is a open bracket and a function to find whether it is a close bracket. Okay. So what should you do here? To check whether it is an open bracket, I'm not adding the condition because I don't want you to get confused. So I'll just call the function. Check whether str of index is an open bracket. If it is an open bracket, 1 will be returned. Right? If it is an open bracket, 1 will be returned. Otherwise, 0 will be returned. So, telling the program, check whether we have open bracket of character. If the character is open bracket, we'll push it into the stack. Similarly, close bracket of character. Okay, so if the character is close bracket, then also we'll return 1. Is it clear till now? Yes. So if it is an open bracket, we have to push it into a stack. If it is a close bracket, we have to pop an element from the stack. Okay, so we have a stack. In that stack, all push and pop should be done at the top only. You can't always do it at 0th index. At the top, whichever space is free, that will be your top of the stack. All elements will be pushed into the top. So, have an element to store top of stack. Okay, this will tell you which index is top of stack. If 0th index is top of stack, TOS will store 0. If first index is the top, TOS will store 1. Okay, so initially your stack will be empty, right? Initial step, 0th step, stack will be empty. Yes, we will start with an empty stack. See, when I add curly brackets, 0th index is the top element. When I add a square bracket, first index is the top element. But if I don't have any elements, no index is the top of stack. So initially top of stack starts from -1. Okay, when you add an element, that element's index will be top of stack. But since I don't have any elements initially, top of stack will be -1. Okay, top of stack will be -1. So when you have to push an element, when you plan to push an element, go to 0th index, then you add the element. Okay, go to 0th index, which is increase top of stack, then store that character in stack. Is it clear? When I have to push an element, I'll modify top of stack. Since top of stack is at -1, take it to 0, then you add the element. Similarly, next time when I see the square bracket, top of stack will be at 0. Take it to 1, then you add the element. If you have one more element, take it to 2 and add the element. Is it clear? This is how we will push an element. Now how can I pop an element? You need to compare the close bracket with nearest open bracket. How can I do that comparison? Let me show you with an other test case. Okay. Consider this one. Here you have a curly bracket. These two are matching. Yes, these two are matching. And here these two are matching. Yes, but if you look at the middle two values, they are not balanced. Can you understand that? These two are not balanced. Why? Because I have a close bracket followed by a open bracket. It should have been open bracket followed by close bracket. Yes. How will I identify this error? Let me show you. First we will read the open bracket. Same procedure guys. When you see a open bracket, push it into the stack. First step, I'm pushing it into the stack. Second step, read the next character, square bracket, open bracket. So open bracket should be pushed into the stack. Okay, this is the second step. Now when I go to the third step, I will read this character. Okay, I will read this character. I see this is a close bracket. Clear? I see it is a close bracket. If I have a close bracket, what will you do? You will compare it with the top of stack. Yes. So look at this. Your stack contains square bracket, open square bracket, and your string contains close round brackets. Can you see that? Yes. So when I compare these two, I can say brackets are not balanced, right? Because in a balanced set, you can have it as open square and close square. That is balanced. But if I have open square and close round, it is not balanced. Can you all understand this? Yes. So at this point, I can identify that brackets are not balanced. So when I know the brackets are not balanced, I should stop my comparison, right? That is what we'll usually do. So how will I know that the brackets are matching or not matching? You are comparing a close bracket with top of stack element. Where do we have the close bracket? In string. Top of stack is with stack. Okay. So there is a comparison between string element and top of stack element. Okay, the string element is the close bracket, top of stack is the open bracket. Okay, I'll note it down. Top of stack contains open bracket, string contains close bracket. Okay, now when I compare these two, they should be matching. If it is an open square, you should have a close square. If it is an open curly brackets, you should have a close bracket. Yes. How can I check whether they are matching or not matching? Okay. So I told you already there are three types of brackets we'll deal with. What are the three types of brackets? Curly brackets or round brackets or square brackets. Yes, I'll be dealing with these three types of brackets. So if you have a open curly bracket, it should be followed by a closed curly bracket. If you have an open round bracket, it should be followed by a closed round bracket. Like that it goes on. Yes. So when you have a open bracket and a close bracket, I should check whether both belong to same category. If one is curly, the other should also be a curly bracket. If one is a square bracket, other should also be a square bracket. Yes, to check that, I'm going to make use of ASCII values. Yes, the ASCII value, I think you'll be familiar with ASCII values by this time. ASCII value for open bracket. The ASCII value for open bracket is 123. For open curly bracket, it is 123. For a closed curly bracket, it is 125. Okay. These are the ASCII values, system defined ASCII values. For open bracket it's 123, for close bracket it is 125. Similarly, for a round bracket, open bracket it is 40 and close bracket it is 41. Next case, for a open bracket it is 91 and close square bracket it is 93. Okay, these are the ASCII values. Yes, if you observe, for a matching pair, for an open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket, what is the difference between the ASCII values? 123, 125 means the difference in ASCII is 2. Similarly, for a square bracket, open square is 91, closed square is 93. So the difference in ASCII is 2. Similarly, for the round bracket, 40 and 41, the difference in ASCII is 1. So what do we observe here? Whenever I have a matching pair, for a matching pair, the difference is going to be 2 or 1 only. Okay, subtract close bracket minus open bracket. For a matching pair, the difference will be 2 or 1. In this case, what do we have in this case? I have a open square bracket. For an open square bracket, the value is 91. For a close round bracket, the value is 41. Okay, now find the difference. Close minus open. The difference will be 41 minus 91, which is minus 50. Can you understand this? If you don't have a matching pair, the difference will be some other value. If you have a matching pair, the difference will be 2. So subtract close bracket and open bracket. If your difference is 2 or 1, it is a matching pair. Otherwise, it is not a matching pair. Okay. I'll have it as a function to avoid confusions. We are going to check whether it is a matching pair. To check whether it is a matching pair, we will need a open bracket and a close bracket. Yes, what should you do? Find the difference between close bracket minus open bracket, because close bracket will have the higher value. Yes, find the difference of close bracket minus open bracket. If the difference is 2 or if the difference is 1, then yes, it is a matching pair. Since it is true, if the difference is 2 or 1, it is a matching pair. So return 1. Otherwise, return 0. Clear? If it is a matching pair, return 1. Otherwise, return 0. So I have this function here. Okay, so what should you do? When you have a close bracket, you should compare it with a open bracket. Check whether they are matching. So call the function matching pair. First input should be a open bracket. Which one contains the open bracket? Top of stack contains the open bracket. So first provide top of stack element, then you provide the string element. Okay. Then you provide the string element. Is it clear? If it is matching, look at that. If the matching pair returns 1, when will the function return 1? If it is matching, it will return 1. If it is matching, return the count, increase the count value. So balanced means I need to know how many open and close are placed correctly. See, for this square bracket, I have a close round bracket, not balanced. For this open bracket, I have a close square bracket, not balanced. So there is only one balanced pair here, which is open and close curly brackets, right? All others are not balanced because, see, this is the pair I have. This is the second pair. Can you understand the approach? Yes, and this is the third pair. I have three pairs here, okay, and only one of them is balanced. Which one is balanced? Curly brackets is balanced. Yes, guys, don't try to match this square bracket with this square bracket. That is not how balancing works. Each open matches to the nearest close. So I will consider the pairs like this only. So what happens now? This curly bracket and this one matches. So in this case, count value should be 1, which means whenever I have a matching bracket, I should count the number of matching brackets. Okay. So when I find a matching pair, I'll increase the count. Okay. So after finding whether they are matching or not matching, remember the concept. When you see a close bracket, compare it with the top of stack element and then pop the top of stack element. I told you this already. Remember, when you compare, pop the top of stack element. What do I mean by pop the top of stack element? See, here we are at 0th and first index. If I remove the first index, when you remove the first index, top of stack will be the 0th index element, right? So if I remove first index, top of stack reduces. Do that alone, it will do. Top of stack reduces. Can you understand this? Once I find whether they are matching or not matching, reduce top of stack. So top of stack will come to 0. So next time when you insert, you'll again move forward and insert at 1. So don't do any operations to remove that element. Modify the index. So when I see the next bracket, I will overwrite the existing bracket. Like that, the operation will just adjust. Okay. So this is the basic program. I'll just remove the comment line so that you don't get confused. This is not going to work for all the test cases, guys. I'll make it clear. This will work only for the basic test case. What have we done here? We are checking if it's an open bracket, pushing it. If it's a closed bracket, check whether it is matching and then remove the open bracket element. Yes. So I'll just print the count value. How many matching pairs do we have? I'll print that count value. Okay. So I'll initialize this as open bracket. Okay. So in this case, I have one pair, two pairs, and three pairs. Yes. So if I execute the program, I should get the answer as 3. Let us check that. Okay, I missed the double quotes. Sorry. Yes, declare the variable count. If I'm going to count the number of pairs, declare a variable count, initialize it as 0. Yes, now I get the output as 3 pairs. On the other hand, if I change it a little for our second test case, remember our second test case, curly bracket, square bracket and round bracket. Okay, curly bracket, square bracket, close round, open round, close square, close curly. So in this case, I have only one matching pair, which is the curly brackets. Okay, so count should be 1. Let us check that. You get the count as 1. So far the program can give you how many matching pairs we have. Along with the number of matching pairs, we should also say whether the string is balanced or unbalanced. Yes, see, here in this case I have balanced set of brackets. Here in this case I have unbalanced set of brackets. So we need to say it is balanced or unbalanced. Along with the balancing, we should print the count. So to analyze the balancing, let us have a flag variable, flag equal to 0. Okay, so my idea is if it is balanced, flag will be 0. If it is unbalanced, flag will be 1. This is how I'm going to use the flag variable. Okay, so when I find it as unbalanced, I will set flag as 1. Where can I find it? See, if the two are matching, you will increase the count. If the two are not matching, it means, for example, here, the two of them are not matching. Since the two of them are not matching, it is a unbalanced string. Yes. So when I find out they are not matching, I will set flag as 1. What does that indicate? It is a unbalanced pair. Okay. So if flag value is 0, printf it is balanced. Otherwise, printf it is unbalanced. Okay. So balanced or unbalanced, along with that we'll print the count. Okay. So now if I consider the first string is balanced, right? Check the output. You get it as balanced followed by count. Consider the second string. Second string is unbalanced, right? Check it. You get it as unbalanced followed by 1. So program works perfectly fine till this point. But as I said already, there are test cases where our program will fail. Yes. For example, consider the next scenario. Okay. We have a open curly bracket. For an open bracket, what will we do? For an open bracket, we will push. Yes. For an open bracket, push it into the stack. This is step 1. Next time also we see a open bracket here. Next one is also open bracket. Push it into the stack. So initially top of stack is -1. After this top of stack is 0. After square bracket top of stack is 1. Okay. Next time we see a close bracket. What will we do when we see a close bracket? We'll compare it with top of stack. When I compare it with top of stack, both are matching. Since both are matching, count value changes as 1. Okay. Count value changes as 1. Now, after they are compared, I will remove it from the stack. Okay. This is step 2, step 3. After they are compared, remove it from the stack. So top of stack will be 0. Okay. Next time we see the next bracket. What is the next bracket? Close curly bracket. So when you see a close bracket, compare it with top of stack. Both are matching. The curly bracket and curly bracket are matching. If they are matching, increase the count value. If they are matching, increase the count value. After that, after comparing them, we will remove that element. Yes, you will delete that element. When I pop that element, stack will go back to -1. Can you understand this? I started with an empty stack -1. Once you complete the stack, stack will change as -1. Okay, we have one more character. What is that character? Curly brackets. Can you see that? Sorry, round bracket. Yes. Whenever we see a close bracket, when I see a close bracket, I'll compare it with top of stack. Where do we have the top of stack? Top of stack is at -1. Do you understand the scenario? Yes. I see a close bracket. I'll try to compare it with top of stack. But top of stack is at -1. So this close bracket, which is str of index, is compared with stack of -1. It is a invalid index. Can you understand this? You can compare the values provided top of stack should not be -1. Okay. So in this case also brackets are unbalanced because I have an extra close bracket. So when I write the code, when I try to find a matching pair, which one might cause an issue? Top of stack may cause an issue. So check whether top of stack is not equal to -1. Okay. If it is not equal to -1, then you can compare. So adding one more condition. If it is not -1, check whether they are matching. If it is -1, set flag value as 1. Okay. We'll check it for this test case. Yeah. This was our question, right? Yes. Up to this point, it is balanced. Consider one more point, it becomes unbalanced, right? So my output should be unbalanced with two balanced pairs, two complete pairs. Yes. Unbalanced with two complete pairs. I get the right output till this point. Yes. So now will this work for all test cases? No. See, I've added one extra open bracket, right? Sorry, one extra close bracket. Next scenario, I will add an extra open bracket. Simple test case only. Yes. Look at it. Initially, I see a open bracket. I'll push it into the stack. Step 1. Okay, top of stack is 0. Top of stack is 0. I'll push an element. Next time we see the square bracket. If you see the square bracket, push it into the stack, top of stack becomes 1. Next time we see a close square bracket. What will we do when we see a close square bracket? Compare it with top of stack. Both are matching, so pop this element. Okay. So in next step, we will pop that element. So after popping that element, index will come back to 0. Right. Now I will reach null. When I reach null, what happens? You will stop your processing. So I found one matching pair. The square brackets were matching. So count value will be 1. Yes. So our result will be the brackets are balanced. Shall we check that? I have unbalanced brackets, one balanced pair, but our result will be balanced pair of brackets. Do you understand? Our program fails for this test case. Why? Because I'm not checking whether I have an extra open bracket. See, if you have completed your process, stack should become empty. Yes, no open brackets no open brackets should be left in the stack. Can you understand this? Yes. If it is balanced, I should have popped all open brackets. All open brackets should be matched with someone. But here one open bracket is not matched at all. So stack contains an element. Yes. In the previous processes, stack would become empty. Once I pop this last curly bracket, stack becomes empty. In this case also, once you finish it, stack becomes empty. Yes, but in the current case, stack does not become empty. So balancing should be checked based on stack also. You should check whether stack is empty. If stack is empty, only then I can say it is a balanced pair. Otherwise, it is unbalanced pair. How will I know whether stack is empty? When top of stack reaches -1. Yes, once I empty the stack, top of stack will come back to -1. So, when you say whether it is balanced, one more condition is top of stack should be -1. Only when top of stack is -1, it is balanced, otherwise unbalanced. Take a look at the output now. Now you get it as unbalanced. Understood? Yes. So we have completed everything about brackets related to parenthesis. This is the maximum case. Yes. So simple process. Open bracket means push. Close bracket means pop. Check whether the two are matching. If they are matching, count it. Otherwise, set flag value as 1. Don't stop it, guys, because they are asking you how many matching pairs are present. So you need to count the number of matching pairs. Okay. So don't stop if they are unbalanced. Continue with your iteration and find the number of balanced pairs. And finally, print the output. Stack should be empty and flag should be 0. Only then it is balanced, otherwise unbalanced. This is about brackets. Yes. Now let's move back to the question. There were two things to be focused here. Remember, a balanced string contains balanced brackets. We know how to check for balanced brackets. We have completed that, right? Next one, at least 2 stars should be present. Now we are going to focus on the stars between the brackets. Okay. Let me start you with a simple case. This one. Yes. So here you need to know the number of stars between the brackets. Yes. Guys, you can use any approach here. My way for this problem is going to be almost similar to the previous technique. What I'll do is I'll see the first character. It is a open bracket. So I'll push it into the stack. Yes. Along with this process, I will start storing the count value. Can you understand this? When I push an element, along with it, I'll start storing the count. Which count? The star count. You need to know how many stars are present between an open and a close bracket. Yes, between this open and close bracket, how many stars are present? That is our question. Yes, which means I should count the number of stars between this pair. So, as soon as you see a open bracket, start counting the number of stars. Yes. So when I see a open bracket, I'll push that open bracket. Along with that, I will store the count also. Two operations to be done. Push that open bracket. Along with that open bracket, start counting the values. Yes. So here, when I push a open bracket, here we are pushing the open bracket. Yes, when I see a open bracket, push it in the next top of stack place. In the next top of stack, initialize count value as 0, so that whenever I see a star, I can increase this value. So after this curly bracket, we find a star. Yes. So what you have to do is just count the number of stars, right? Count the number of stars. You need not do anything else. I have already initialized count value as 0. So when I find the star in the same stack, when I find a star in the same stack, increase the value as 1. Increase count value as 1. You find the next star in that stack, increase count value as 2. Okay. Then we find one more star. What will we do? We'll increase count value as 3. Top of stack is not changing at all. Can you understand that? Top of stack does not change. Whatever is there in top of stack will definitely be an integer. How? Because on seeing a open bracket, I have set this integer. So definitely above an open bracket, we will have the integer only, right? So whenever we see a star, increase the count value. We'll do that. Okay, yeah. When I find a star, when I find str of index is a star, don't do anything else, just increase count at top of stack. Clear? When I find a star, I'll increase the count at top of stack. Alright? Okay. So for the next star, okay, when I find the next star, what will we do? We'll increase the count value. Count value changes as 4. Count value changes as 4. Then I find the close bracket. When I find this close bracket, what did I tell you? Whenever you find a close bracket, take the open bracket and see whether they are matching. That is for balanced brackets. For balanced brackets, you will take a open bracket and see whether they are matching. But here, along with the balancing, you should check the number of stars also. Yes, count of stars should be greater than or equal to 2. That is the condition we set. Count of stars should be greater than or equal to 2. So, at the top of stack, I have count of stars. Yes, at the top I have count of stars. So what should you do here? First, check whether the count is greater than or equal to 2. If the count is greater than or equal to 2, stars are um, okay, so it is a balanced star count, right? Okay, stars satisfies the condition. We'll have it like that. Stars satisfy the condition. Okay, when the count is greater than or equal to 2. If your count is less than 2, then condition is not satisfied. Clear? So in your programming part, when you see a close bracket, along with the close bracket, check the top of stack value first. Okay. First, take the top of stack value because now the top of stack is not going to be an open bracket. First, you'll get the count value, right? So take that count value, check whether it is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 2, I don't have any issues. When do I have an issue? If it is less than 2, then flag should be set as 1. Can you understand? If it is less than 2, flag will be set as 1. What does flag 1 indicate? It is not a valid string. It is not having the correct star count. So set flag value as 1. Then you remove that element. Clear? When this count is less than 2, set flag value as 1. Then we'll remove this element. If I remove this element, now I'll get the open bracket. Yes. So instead of just open bracket, I have the count value also. So first work with the count value, remove the count value, then you work with the open bracket. Clear? Okay. So if flag is 1, then we'll have it as unbalanced, otherwise we'll have it as balanced. Let us check this now. Okay, str is equal to 4 stars. My output should be balanced and one pair of bracket. Pair of brackets is 1. And yes, balanced with one pair of brackets. What if I reduce the stars? Say I have only 1 star. If I have only 1 star, it is not balanced. So now you get it as unbalanced 1. Okay. Even if you have no stars, we will get it as unbalanced because star count should be 2. Clear? So this again is just our basic program. Will this program work for all the test cases? Definitely no. Let's start analyzing the test cases. Okay, look at this one. Here, the star, first I'll see a open bracket. Whenever I see a open bracket, I'll push it and set the value as 0. Next I see a star, increase the value as 1. Next we see a, okay, the star is completed. Next we see a open bracket. Whenever I see a open bracket, push it and set the value as 0. Next we see a star, okay. So increase the upper count as 1. Okay. Then we see a close bracket. Whenever I see a close bracket, I will stop the execution. Right? Whenever I see a close bracket, I will check the count value. Count value is 1. So is it balanced or unbalanced? It is unbalanced string. Right? Let me check whether it works. This test case will work. Here we have star and another star, right? In this case, what happens is between this pair, in this pair I have only 1 star, but overall pair we have 3 stars, right? If it is only 1, it is not balanced, so you'll remove this one and balance count will set as 1 because these two brackets are balanced. Since these two brackets are balanced, we'll set the count as 1, but flag value will already change as 1. Why? Because I have only 1 star here. Next time I find the next star, when I find the next star, I'll increase the count as 2. And then I see a close bracket. When I see a close bracket, I see the count is 2 and I find a matching bracket. Yes. So I will say that There are two matching brackets. However, it is not your expected string. Why? Because I have only one star between this pair. I should have a minimum of two stars. Okay. So for this one, your output should be unbalanced. Let me check that. Unbalanced and 2. Yes. Okay. Even though the output is right, if you notice, there is something wrong with the calculation part. What have they told you? The number of stars between a pair of brackets should be counted. Yes. Number of stars between a pair of brackets. Consider this pair of brackets, highlighted pair alone. Yes, they told you find number of stars between a pair. The number of stars between a pair should be greater than or equal to 2. At least 2. That was the question. Yes, the number of stars between this pair is actually 3 stars. Can you see that? This is a nested bracket. The round brackets are present within the curly brackets, which means this middle star is a part of curly bracket also. Can you understand? The middle star is a part of the curly bracket also. So for this curly bracket, the count actually should have been 3. But according to my calculation, I get the count as 2 only. So you may think that in this test case, it does not fail at all. So why should we bother about that? Let me consider some other test case. Okay. I'm going to consider str is equal to star star. Okay, double quotes. Now look at it. I have two stars, and for the overall set, we have 4 stars. Yes, it should be balanced only, but we get the result as unbalanced. Why? Because the stars within the nested part is not considered by us. We are doing a mistake here. Okay, when you count the stars, count it along with the stars in the nested part. Okay, so what happens in this test case is, okay, we'll come back to this. Before that, yes, we'll deal with this case first. First, I have a curly bracket. Yes, I don't think we need individual stacks. You understood the concept, so we'll work on it. I have a curly bracket. When I add the open bracket, set value as 0. Okay. Then I see a star, so set the value as 1. Then I see a open bracket. When you see a open bracket, push it and initialize the value as 0. Okay. Push it and initialize the value as 0. Then you have another star, so set count as 1. Then you have one more star, set count value as 2. Then you have a close bracket. What will you do when you see a close bracket? You will, when I see a close bracket, I will check the count value first. Yes, when I see a close bracket, I will check whether the count is less than 2. Okay, here if I check, the count is equal to 2, so count condition is satisfied. Okay, I know I have 2 stars, so I don't have to bother about that. I've removed it. Okay, then I check whether these two are matching. After the count, I'll check whether these two are matching. If the two of them are matching, then I know I have one matching pair. Yes, after I find they are matching, I'll remove this open bracket and I'll conveniently move to the next character in the string. Yes, I have removed the open square brackets and I moved to the next character. But as I told you, this count value includes the existing count values also. The nested count value, the 2 stars which you deleted. We deleted this 2 stars count, right? This 2 star count should be added to this value. Okay, along with this 1 star, we should add this 2 stars count also. Clear? So when you pop a open bracket, yes, when I pop this open bracket, let me go back by a few steps. Yes, When I see this close bracket, when I see this close bracket, I will delete this 2 value. Yes, popped value. Popped value is 2. I'll delete this 2. Then I'll compare these two values. Yes, they are matching. So I'll delete the open bracket also. This is our usual process. Now what you have to do is, after deleting the open bracket, take the popped value and add it to the next count. Can you understand? Take the popped value, add it to the top of stack, right? So first store the popped value, which is the count. Where do we have the count? Top of stack. Count is at the top of stack. Store it in popped value. Yes. After you remove the open bracket to the top of stack, add the popped value also. Okay. After you remove the open bracket to the top of stack, add the popped value also. Okay. So here, when I add the popped value, I'll get it as 3. Is it clear? Yes, I'm getting it as 3. Now I see a close bracket. What will you do when you see a close bracket? When you see a close bracket, you will store the popped value. What is the popped value this time? Popped value is 3. Yes, after storing this value, you will delete it. Then you will compare whether the brackets are matching. The brackets are matching. So you will delete the bracket. After we delete the open bracket, you need to add popped value to top of stack. But here the stack becomes empty. Yes, when can you add the popped value? If you have an element, if you have a count value, you can add it. You can't add it into an empty stack. So when you add it, check whether top of stack is not empty. Only if the stack is not empty, we can add the value. Otherwise, we cannot add the value. Is it clear? Yes. So, now if I work it for this test case, here I have 4 stars within the brackets, right? Now you can get the right answer. Balanced and 3. Clear? Yes. Okay. And one last test case where your program may complicate is this one. See, this one is balanced or unbalanced, it doesn't matter. But the first character itself is a star. Can you see that? The first character itself is a star. What will you do? Whenever you see a star, top of stack plus plus. This is what we'll usually do. When I see a star, I'll increase the count. But here, the first character is a star, which means stack is empty. In an empty stack, I can't increase the count, right? So when you see a star, before you increase the count, check whether stack is not equal to minus 1. Because if stack is minus 1, it is not empty. Sorry, if stack is minus 1, it is empty. So check whether it is not empty, then you add the value. Clear? Okay. So now we'll try it for the last test case also. Char str is equal to star star star. Okay, this is balanced. I have one pair and 2 stars between them. I need the values between them. Take a look at the output. You get it as balanced followed by 1. Yes. So that's it. We are done with the problem. And one more thing you have to notice here is, if satisfied, print yes, otherwise print no. That is what they have said. Yes. So here, instead of saying whether it is balanced or unbalanced, say yes or no. Okay, say yes or no. And also take a look at the constraints part. Input contains only one line and it contains letters, numbers, brackets and stars. Anything is possible. So far I've been explaining it to you only with brackets and stars. You can also have characters between them. Capital, small, or numbers. Anything could be present. No matter what is present, we will deal only with three cases. What are the three cases? Open bracket, close bracket, and star. We will deal only with these three cases. Clear? So that is completed. Output format, say yes and number of balanced pairs, or say no and number of balanced pairs. Okay. One thing we have missed here is constraints. Look at the constraint part. String length will be till 1000 characters. So I will store a maximum of 1000 characters followed by a null character. Yes, 1000 characters followed by a null character. So string should be of size, string should be of size 1001, including the null character. Yes, so get the string from the user, scanf, get the string, and proceed with this process. That's it. I hope I made it clear. We have completed the program. If you have any doubts, please join us in the doubt clearing session. Thank you.